Good morning, everybody. God bless you. I pray that you all are great this morning. God bless you. God bless you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you. God bless you all. Thank you all so much for joining me on this 30th day of March. Um, I'm a little relaxed this morning, sitting in my most comfortable chair. This has been the best chair that has carried me through my recovery process. And I am so grateful to be on with you all this morning. I am not going to be long at all this morning. Just have a few things I want to talk about. Good morning, Mother Wilson. Good morning, Tammy. Good morning, Cindy. I'm glad you're back in South Carolina. Let's try to talk at some time today. I got a pretty full schedule, but let's get together today. And I'm just excited. I'm excited about today. I'm excited to be back at home in my own bed. There's no more excitement than that. And excited that you all have decided to join me this morning via Facebook Live and on conference call. And I am just so happy. Good morning. I'm Lisa. Good morning, Miss Richardson. Good morning, Miss Bluford. Good morning, Miss Janice. If you just joined us on the conference call, please check your phone to make sure that it is on mute. Thank you so much. Or you're going to have to be still for the next 15 minutes. I shouldn't be on too long today. I'm not going to do anything out of the book. Very relaxed today, very laid back. And I'm going to talk to you about the sake of the call. And I want to read the scripture from Jeremiah 1 and 5. It says, before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee and ordained thee a prophet unto the nation. Isaiah 6 and 8 says, also I heard the voice of the Lord saying, whom shall I send, and who will go for us? Then said I, here am I, send me. Here am I, send me. Good morning, Lexus. Good morning, Bun. Good morning, Wanda. Good morning, Denise. He said, here am I, send me. And so I wanted to talk today about for the sake of the call. If you all don't know, today is March the 30th, today is March the 30th. March the 30th, 1990 is the day that I had the altercation, the day that I was cut, and the day that I completely and totally gave God a yes. I talked to you all about the 3 yeses earlier on in the book, that there's a yes to salvation, there's a yes to the Holy Spirit, but there's also that yes to be sold out. And when we looked at the scripture earlier, it says that in Isaiah, he said, and also I heard the voice of the Lord saying, whom shall I send, and who will go for us? Then said I, here am I, send me. And I didn't understand it all that day. I had this encounter at Lawrence County Hospital in the emergency room when I had the encounter with God. An out-of-body experience. It led to an out-of-body experience where God took me up and showed me me. He showed me me. He showed me a lot of stuff about me. And when he did that, at that point, I wasn't happy about what I saw. And he said to me, either you're going to serve me or this is it. And I promised God that day, laying there on that bed, good morning, Lady Mitchell, good morning, Karen. I promised God that day, laying on that bed at the hospital, that I would serve him till I die. And my feet have been running ever since. Have I been perfect? No. Good morning, Patricia. Have I made mistakes? Yes. Have I sometimes did not obey God? Yeah. But for the sake of the call, I remain consistent. Even when I made mistakes, even when I was challenged, even when I was talked about, even when I was lied on, Even when I was left by myself, I continue to be consistent. And today is 36 years of ministry. Hadn't been easy, you guys, but for the sake of the call, because I knew when I gave God my yes, I knew, good morning, Miss Cindy, I knew when I gave God that yes, that I had to remain faithful in that. Good morning, Carolyn. I had to remain faithful in that yes to God. And I'm telling you, it has been the most beautifulest thing in my life. I started this journey, and remember I'm talking about for the sake of the call. I started this journey asking Reverend Hawthorne and Miss Hawthorne, me and Stephanie Rice, God rest her soul. We went to them asking them if we could start a youth program at Hebron. And they told us, yeah, we could. And my mom was over the Junior Sunshine Club, and we kind of converted it into Save Our Youth. A lot of you all remember Save Our Youth in Clinton. And that journey we took right there. You talking about writing plays. You talking about plays. I said, we got to go back. We got to go back to PC and do another play. A couple of people that helped me with doing those seasons have said, let's do it. And we're coming back. We're going to do it. I thought our 35th year would be the year that we did it, but God wouldn't. He didn't release me to do it last year. But maybe that will be the thing for next year. But we're coming back, and I already got a title in mind. God has been really dealing with me on a title for a play. But we started with things like that. We didn't start with the church kids. We started going to West Chase and to a lot of the apartment complex and getting kids and bringing them into the church. And a lot of people didn't like that. A lot of people didn't like how the kids came in. But it didn't matter to us because we wanted a safe haven for these children. And we did that. And then that grew into a daycare. My first daycare was called New Generation. And then New Generation converted into Future Leaders Center of America through a prophetic word, preparing leaders to lead the nation. And we changed the name from New Generation to Future Leader. And that was almost 15 years of being the first black full daycare. We had a black daycare, but we were the first black full facility for the sake of the call. I'm not saying any of this to brag, but I'm telling you, consistency. If I could, I was asked in an interview a couple of weeks ago if I could give one word that was just always something that I would say, or just that one word that spoke to who I am. And I told the guy, I said, it's got to be consistency, because we've always showed up. We showed up whether that was Good Morning Janet. We showed up whether that was an outreach. We showed up whether that was walking literally. We used to take the kids and do a prayer band. I don't know if you all remember that back in the year. But we would walk with the kids through the neighborhood down in the hole, and we would probably have 25, 30 kids. We would knock on people's doors and ask them, passing out pamphlets. I think we might have been giving out daily breads then, but we were giving out, I think it was a pamphlets we were giving out. And we would ask them, do they need prayer? And we would go in, me and Miss Rosa Booker and several other people that would walk with me. Wanda was one of the ones that worked with me back then. And we would go in and we would pray over people and pray for families. And we were doing this back in 1990. And look what the Lord has done for the sake of the call. This has not been easy. It looks easy, but it hasn't been an easy journey. But I'm glad that God was able to say, who can I send? And my response was, send me, God. Here am I. Send me. So for the sake of the call, there's a song that says, for the sake of the call, I am laying down my all. No turning back. Moving straight ahead. And it's all for the sake of the call. And so I wanted to encourage you today. I wanted to share. Good morning, Tiffany, one of my babies who used to be a part of SOY. I'm telling you, people think I exaggerate, but Miss Cindy on here, it's a lot of people on here. We had at one point 100 kids. We had 100, good morning, Kendra, 100 youth. We would travel all over South Carolina. We took the kids to Philadelphia. We took them to D.C. We traveled with these children. Let me tell you, you talking about faith. I remember we left, these kids didn't have money. We would charge an amount for them to go, but it would be very, something that we needing them to get a certain amount so that we could at least pay for transportation and the buses. We figured it out when it came to food, and I'm laughing now because I remember how we would divide up food, and we would buy this and divide it up, and we would feed them. But we did this, and you talking about faith is what I was saying. I remember us leaving Clinton, and I only had enough money to pay for the bus. I did not know how I got almost 50 people depending on me to have rooms. We had the rooms reserved, but I'm like, how are we going to pay for them? But I trust God. We left here and we got to D.C., and I will never forget my cousin D. Suber. He met us at the Navy, at the hotel. He had told us to come to a hotel on the Navy base. He met us there, and he blessed us with those rooms. Because we only had, kids couldn't afford it. A lot of parents couldn't afford it. And I had a big heart. And I wasn't telling them no. Get them on the bus. Let's go. But God in his awesome way, he continued to bless us. He continued to do great things through us. And I hope my computer is saying my battery is low. And I don't know where that's coming from. Hold on, you guys. I don't want us to get disconnected on Facebook, but if we do, you all won't get to hear all of it. Give me one quick second. Yep, I don't know what's going on with the battery. I pray it doesn't go out. But I'm going to move very fast and very swiftly. But for the sake of the call, and so I trusted God. And so I'm telling you, continue to trust God. Let consistency be the thing that drives you. When God gives you something to do, don't not show up because when God tell you to do something, one or two people come, don't you stop because one or two, if don't nobody show up. Because I told you all earlier, you can't be responsible. All you got to do is answer the call. You can't be responsible for how others answer the call, okay? That's not your responsibility. You trust God in it. You do what he said do, and you let him do the rest. And he will do it. He will do it every time. And so for the sake of the call, I want to come on today because I got something very, very, very good to announce. We launched this lab about 2 years ago. We started launching it. I started testing it. I started talking to a couple of people that I wanted to be involved in this with us. But God would not let me release it. But this year on my 36th anniversary, the Lord said to me, you can release it now. And so we are proud to release that we now have a Future Leader Academy. It's a leadership program for young people. And what we're going to be doing in this Future Leader Academy, the Future Leader Academy is a dynamic youth leadership program. It's designed to empower and equip young people for their future career. We're modeling the structure around like an AAU, which means you will have to pay. Kids will have to pay. Just like they do for AAU, they have to pay. When we travel, we will have to, there will be some cost in traveling, but kids will have on uniforms. This is the beautiful part I love about it. And the beautiful things that God has given us for them, I love it. The young ladies will be dressed fully in blazers and skirts. The young men will be dressed fully in suits. We are leaders. We are preparing leaders to lead the nation. And right now we have spots, and these are our age breakdown. And they're going to be age group from 5 to 10. Y'all saying 5 years old? Yes. I'm starting with 5 years old. I'm starting at 5 years old. From 5 to 10, 11 to 13, 14 to 18. I already have people, we kind of launched this a little bit a while back, and I have people already on the waiting list just waiting on me. I am going to be having an interest meeting. It's going to be on April the 18th at 1 o'clock via Zoom. Let me tell you something. You think SOI was something? What God has given us with this, and we will be traveling with them. God has opened up some doors for me to get them into some places. I want to connect them now with people to help them and help them move into the career path that they're wanting. Let me tell you, a lot of coaches clone their kids to take over their job positions. We are the one, now we could clone them from basketball, or we could clone from baseball, football, all that stuff. But how many of us preparing our kids to be leaders, preparing them to walk in their education, in their career choice? It's time, you guys. We can't wait until they're in the 9th and 10th grade to start asking them what you want to be. We need to start grooming them at the age of 5. We do. And I have seen it happen. I've watched young people grow up in our programs who are now adults, who started as babies, who started as infants coming in. I am now seeing my infants who are now adults. And so watch their path. We've watched this. We've studied it. To watch their path. And I'm telling you, I got some that are in service, the Army service. I got some that are running different organizations now. I got some that are supervisors in some of the major corporations. I'm telling you, we have watched what we've done early on because we prepared them. We prepared them to lead the nation. I often think about Tiffany, Tanya, Shauna. I call certain names all the time because I still have beautiful relationships with them. My Marvas, my Christy Starters. I think about these kids and how we got Tiffany. She's right here on with us. She has her own school in Atlanta, Georgia. Tiffany started out with me as a young girl, being in a mentoring program. And I promise you, I'm going to be doing a podcast with my kids, not bringing nobody else on. I'm bringing my children on. They're going to come in and they're going to talk to you about what were the things we did back then that prepared them for there now. And it's been proof in the pudding. It's been proof in the pudding. I've been sitting on it. People been saying, when you going to do it? We need you to do this. And we pay money for everything else. And it's not, let me tell you something. This will not fat my pocket at all. I'm good. I'm about to be debt free. In 2 more months, I'll be debt free, literally. Okay? And so it's not a money scheme. I don't need, it's about getting your kids prepared and ready. And we pay to go to college, we pay to do everything else. So we're kind of modeling this around like the AAU. You will pay a fee up front, and then that fee will help get their uniforms and help do some local things. But then when we travel, and our first traveling is going to be to Kentucky, I got something I want them to go and experience. We're going to travel into Kentucky. I'm going to take them to a particular place. I'm not releasing that now. And when we get there, they're going to have to write about what their experience was. And we're going to have downtime to talk about it. And so I wanted to share this with you all on my 36th ministry anniversary, that we are kicking off our Future Leader Academy program. And we're taking kids from all over, from the upstate. You can be out of state. It really doesn't matter, because some of our things we'll do will be via Zoom. And the kids will also have it's more details to this. I'm not going to give it all. If you're interested, I've given you the day and time that you can reach out to me. But we are asking parents to be just as engaged in this as the children, because no sense in us bringing them into our environment, and then when they go back home, what are they dealing with? Okay? So we need parents involved. We'll be teaching them, giving them tools as to how to prepare their kids to be leaders of the nation. And so we are super excited. We are super excited. I have a lot of people that are wanting to connect, have a lot of people that have already connected, but we're excited about our anniversary, the 36 years of ministry, you guys. It's been 36 years of ministry, and we're launching our Future Leader Academy. We have a seal. It is absolutely beautiful that will be patented on every item that we have. It will be a seal embroidered. It will be done with embroidery, and it will be placed on every shirt, every blazer, so that when they walk out of here, God gave